Sub! We've covered a ton of different Piggy characters in the past, right? Not only the real ones from the actual game, but even characters that we've made up ourselves. Well, did you also know that the characters in Piggy are actually based on characters from the Peppa Pig show? And that's why today, we're gonna be comparing different characters against their Peppa Pig counterparts. Maybe we'll even find some unexpected coincidences that explains why they're so evil. So, Sub, how about you show us 10 Piggy characters versus Peppa Pig characters? Number 1. Mr. P. Where better to start on our character's exploration journey than the main antagonist of the entire Piggy story, Mr. P. Well, Mr. P first appears to be a friendly character after rescuing you and Bunny on the school chapter. That quickly changes as he abandons you at the end of the hospital chapter. In the real Peppa Pig show, Mr. Potato first appears as a special guest at Peppa's school, who teaches them all about eating healthy food. But not just that. The Super Potato also makes an appearance in the exact same episode. It's thought that Mr. Potato was the Super Potato, but in a disguise, since they've never been seen together at the same time, right until the end of the episode, where the Super Potato rescues Mr. Potato, who's trapped in his car. There's plenty to take away from this sub, but one of the main things that raised my suspicions was the note signed by TSP, scattered all around the different Piggy maps. Now, we can't be for certain, but maybe that stands for the Super Potato. What if the Super Potato was really the one that created the Piggy infection after all? And Mr. Potato just blames himself for it. Other than that, Mr. P looks just like Mr. Potato from the show. So except for the part where Mr. P abandons and betrays you, Mr. Potato was always a friendly character in the real Peppa Pig show. Number 2. Piggy. Well, of course we're gonna feature Piggy in this video. I mean, not only is she the name of the game, but she's also based off the main character of the real Peppa Pig show. Piggy is the first character you meet in the Piggy story, since she's not only the bot skin for Chapter 1, but she's also the default Piggy skin, meaning a ton of players still use it as their Piggy skin to this day. In the real Peppa Pig show, Piggy is, of course, the main character of the show, Peppa herself. She appears in every episode of the show, and most of the episodes consist of her learning something new or playing with her friends. However, in the game of Piggy, she's called Penny. Well, her uninfected variant is called Penny anyway, but of course, when she's infected, she's called Piggy. There's only one point in the game that we get to see the uninfected version of Piggy, and that's in George's dream, on the distorted memory map. Despite the entire game being named after her, it's super difficult to gain any more knowledge than that about Penny, since she's been infected the entire time, and does nothing but chase you around the different maps. Number 3. Mousie. Mousie first makes an appearance in the Piggy game on Chapter 10, where she can be seen crawling around the vents. She'll never leave the vents, and can only catch you if you run into the vents to grab an item, or break the vent. Excluding Chapter 10, Mousie doesn't make any other appearance in the game. In the real Peppa Pig show, Mousie is called Mandy Mouse, and is first seen in an episode where the characters learn all about disabilities. Because of this, Mandy Mouse can be seen in a wheelchair. Going back to Piggy, this completely explains why she can be seen crawling around the vents, because she can't walk and must have lost her wheelchair when she became infected. Hey, have you learned something you didn't know before about Piggy? Well, then you should subscribe. Since Sub is always giving out tips and secrets, subscribing is the best way to ensure you never miss them. Plus, you'll be helping our journey onto its way to 500,000 subscribers. Number 4. George Piggy. If there's one immediately obvious similarity between Peppa Pig and the Piggy game, it's that George is Peppa's brother. In the game, he makes a late appearance since he only shows up at the end of Chapter 10. He reveals that his entire family went to trial a cure to a disease and ended up becoming infected, which is later confirmed in the true ending of Chapter 12. Not much of a cure, was it, Sub? However, of course, there was no piggy infection in the actual Peppa Pig show. That would be far too creepy for the show. And instead, George spends all of the episodes living happily with his family, playing with his dinosaur. However, in the game, it's a total opposite. George has spent ages hiding away from his family after they've all turned into piggy monsters. And now, he wants revenge on Mr. P for what he's done to his family. Not quite the innocent character he is in the show, hey, Sub? Number 5. Bunny. The Bunny character is certainly a fan favorite amongst Piggy players, since she's stuck by you ever since you helped her escape on the school map. She'll even go after Piggy and knock her out with her crossbow on the school map too, until eventually, she became infected after drinking a potion given to her by Mr. P, which she reveals to us at the end of Chapter 7, breaking the hearts of almost all Piggy players. Well, her Peppa Pig counterpart is no different, Sub. In fact, it matches her Piggy personality perfectly, as Rebecca Rabbit is also a very sweet and loving character. She's one of Peppa's best friends, but that certainly wasn't possible in the Piggy game. The similarities don't end there though, Sub. Rebecca Rabbit can also be seen to be a very stern character in the face of injustice, which is just like how she is when she sees Piggy trying to attack you. Well, why don't you give her a carrot anyway? Hey, are you enjoying the video? Then leave a like on it. That way Sub knows exactly the best content to make. Plus, it helps show your support for the channel. Number 6. Memory. This character is certainly a little different from the rest, Sub, since this one is not a regular Piggy story character, but instead, it's a Piggy skin. But just because they're not a story character, Sub, that doesn't mean they're not based on something. Memory is in fact based on a creepypasta, or lost episode as it's often called. This episode was called Why? And showed some pretty creepy scenes of Peppa and her family being oofed. The final scene of the creepypasta showed Peppa Pig with blacked out eyes and a gray dress. Are you spotting the similarities now, Sub? That's exactly what Memory looks like. There's not a whole lot of personality traits to gather from the two characters because, well, you know, they're both creepy evil dream versions of Peppa. But what can be said is that they look almost identical to one another. Number 7. Badgie. Badgie is the most recent character to be added to the game, and is used as the final bot skin of the Piggy story. Unlike all other Piggy characters, Badgie has had his arm replaced by some sort of infected potion hand, which is very fitting considering Chapter 12 is all about collecting potions. In the Peppa Pig show, however, Mr. Badger certainly does not have a potion for an arm. In fact, he's a very friendly character who lives and works on a farm with his wife, Mrs. Badger. The two of them don't play a huge role in the Peppa Pig show, which is very similar to the Piggy game too. Hey, have you noticed any similarities between the different characters that we've missed out? Let us know in the comments. Sub's super eager to find out more, and even as much as he can know about the different Piggy characters. Number 8. Zizzy. Just like Bunny, Zizzy is another fan-favorite character. I can see why. After first meeting her at the end of Chapter 8, not only does she instantly offer to bring you to safety, but she also helps to protect you in the chapters to follow by helping you fight off the infected piggies. In the real Peppa Pig show, Zoe Zebra is friends with Peppa and frequently plays with her in the show. I don't know about you, Sub, but I'm starting to notice a pattern. All the characters that are really friendly to us in the game are the same ones that are friends with Peppa in the real show. That can't be a coincidence. Back in the Piggy game, though, Zizzy is quite different to a Peppa Pig counterpart, since in the game, Zizzy is very quick to fight off all the different soldier piggies on Outpost, and will even help you to take out the main piggy. Well, once you fed her some grass, of course. Whereas in the show, Zoe Zebra is a very shy character and doesn't talk all that much. Number 9. Barry. Barry is the bot skin used for the hospital map. And at first, this might appear as a completely random decision. However, Sub, by looking at the character Barry is based off, it becomes pretty obvious why Barry was used for the hospital map. Barry was based on Dr. Brown Bear, the doctor of the Peppa Pig universe. So now, it makes sense why he would be wandering around the hospital as an infected version of himself. Since Barry is a piggy skin, it's pretty difficult to figure out what personality he would have had when he wasn't infected. But if the show is anything to go by, I think it's safe to say he would have been friendly, had he not been infected when you met him. Wow, Sub! I know the Piggy characters were based on the Peppa Pig characters, but I never knew they were so similar. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to use Sub's brand new star code when buying Robux or Roblox Premium. We'll see you next time, Sub. Catch you later!